And here's another episode of a podcast, of course. Today's guest is LoneWolfSeven. He's a buddy of mine from TikTok. He's a fellow content creator over there, along with Twitch. Today we talked about a bunch of stuff. We talked about fighting game community, stuff over on TikTok. We talked about Dungeons and Dragons, and I had a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoy the episode. We're recording.
Awesome. Hey guys.
Lone Wolf, thank you for coming in, dude. I appreciate you joining me.
Thanks for having me, bro. I really appreciate this.
You've been, I feel like you've been following me for a while. Like, I think you've been following me since what, September, July, June, something. Maybe it was sooner.
You're one of the first people I started following.
Really?
Like, I kid you not, because what happened was I was not active, and I'm looking for gamer genre, like gamer content developers, and what do you call it? I ended up on Muslim TikTok because I'm Muslim, so I was just there, and I think it was just like other types of TikTok. Like, I feel like everyone starts off on dating TikTok for some reason, right? And then I'm just like,
so
through
true.
the algorithm, searching for gamers. I think I found you. Like, you're one of the first. I think it was like King Lion, right?
That dude, man, it's going
Black
through
Sands
a ringer.
Entertainment.
Yeah.
And then there was Black Sands Entertainment, King Lion, and then I finally found gamers, and then that was you. So that's I think how my story went.
Yeah, that's great. I think I started off I did the same thing with Instagram, and I always try to find fighting game stuff, and it was kind of crazy. There was no fighting, like the major fighting game content creators weren't on here. I checked out Max, I checked out Sajam, Jayuna. None of them are on here. I'm like, and I guess they're more old school generation because to be fair, I'm pretty close to their age, but
so am I. I did find Arslan Ash, but I don't think he puts out fighting game content on TikTok. He does to a certain extent, but he also does trends and other comedy stuff. And he's also not a lot of times he's not speaking English. I understand him, but I don't think the English speaking world follows him, right? So that was it. So you were kind of the first English speaking fighting game genre centric content creator I followed, I believe.
I'm happy I was your first. When it comes to content creation, dude, we might as well just jump into some of the questions here. Why did you choose TikTok to decide to make content? Well,
it was purely, what do you call it, to support my Twitch. At first I just downloaded first I was on Instagram to support my Twitch, and people were like, yo, you gotta go multi-platform, go on TikTok. And I just got TikTok, and I was just like, what is this? People are doing when I joined TikTok, I forget when. I think it was last year around right before Thanksgiving. It was it was weird because I felt like this is just an app where people just copy one another, and that's how you get big, right? I forget what was the trend back then, but it'll be one trend, everyone's doing the same exact thing, making the same exact video with the same exact sound, and getting famous that way, right?
Yep.
And I'm like, why is this a good app? But then I think the first Twitch streamer that I found, right? He didn't play fighting games, but first Twitch streamer was Noctis Wolf, and so I just followed him, and then there was all these how to get big on Twitch, small streamer communities, right? So it was Noctis Wolf and some girl named UMMMM, and they were giving Twitch stream advice, which is helpful for newcomers like I was at the time.
Of course.
So, but I still wasn't creating TikToks for myself. And then I just decided to, just upload, Twitch clips to TikTok. And then I was like, you know what? Let me just, I got some ideas watching you. I think you were the first person I saw that was making jokes about the game he was playing, or making a commentary about the game he was playing. Because before I didn't know what the heck to do. I was just copy and pasting a Twitch stream clip into my TikTok or my Instagram, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you gave me the idea of like watching you gave me the idea of like, oh, I don't necessarily have to post a Tekken clip to talk about Tekken or like, or Valorant or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to say it's a bad thing, but like there's definitely a
Yeah.
flooding. I would like to say there's a flooding of what's the word I'm looking for? Of I like to call the FGC clip talk nation. There's a flood of FGC clips, and I'm not. It's not a bad thing. It's great because a lot of people
Yeah.
love watching clips. I'll sit there and just go down like a line of watching crazy
Mhm.
comebacks in Mortal Kombat and like
Yeah.
Smash and Tekken. I'll watch them, but like I can watch that, and I can watch that on Twitter. I can watch that on Instagram. I can go to people's actual Twitch stream and watch them just destroy people. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I'd rather see
Exactly.
something new and different. So that's usually what I try my best to do, well, at least from my
Yeah.
end. But
Mhm.
I've played some matches. If you guys are watching right now, you're seeing me and Lone Wolf here, pretty much going back and forth with Tekken here. I did good.
Yeah.
I was doing pretty okay. And then
Yeah.
near the end, when we start going, we brought out the mains. That's when shit changed.
Yeah.
I really didn't play my secondary that long with you. I think I played one match with King. So I didn't really
Yeah.
get to. But when it comes to fighting games, I gotta ask,
Mhm.
what's your overall? How long you've been playing? What's your fighting game origin story?
So like fighting games, like I think my first fighting game was Mortal Kombat 3 on Sega Genesis,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got Mortal Kombat 2 on PC after I got Mortal Kombat 3, right? And this is when I was a kid, right? We just played Mortal Kombat, and then I think, but before that, I think my first introduction to fighting games was my family used to take a lot of road trips,
Sure.
and back then, every rest stop had an arcade.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like the first fighting game, like my first introduction as a kid was Samurai Showdown. Samurai Showdown 2.
The Neo Geo.
Um, yes, it was
Mm-hmm.
like the arcade machine.
Yeah.
And SNK Samurai Showdown 2, and I remember the first character I picked was the guy with the big spear, Yashimaru, I
How,
think his name is.
you said a
No, not
spear?
Yashimaru. Yeah. Hold on, let me look at characters.
Hamaru?
Um,
Harumaru? It's like
no,
HAOHMARU.
no, that's the main character.
Yeah. I was like,
Um,
spear? Well, I can't even
yeah,
think of who uses a spear.
yeah, no, it was a Naginata. Kiyoshiro.
Okay. Yep.
Um, Kiyoshiro Senor. He's like the Japanese play guy who's like in a Japanese play, and
Oh,
he
that's
has a
right.
big Naginata.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Yep.
So he was the first character, and then excuse me, all the kids. This is like the height of fighting games. Street Fighter 2 and Mortal Kombat 3 were out. I didn't play Street Fighter back then. I played Mortal Kombat. I was in the first grade, I think, or the second grade, and but again, this was nothing like competitive, right? And then then PlayStation 1 came out, and then you had the 3D games like Tekken and Battle Arena and Virtua Fighter come out, and we just started playing those games along with shooters and stuff. And then when I moved to Indonesia for a year, I didn't have a lot of time. It was like my first job out of college,
Sure.
and like there was a time where like fighting games kind of died out, like during the Street Fighter 3 Third Strike era. That was like the
Yeah.
dark ages. So like I also didn't play fighting games back then, right? Um, I would still keep in like track of what was happening, but like the genre as a whole went through a dark era. Street Fighter 4 came out, revived everything. Tekken 6 came out, started playing Tekken 6, and what do you call it? That was my first Tekken since Tekken 2 and 3, right? And I started playing Tekken 6, and I would play with, a lot of my students were my age, so they would come over my house. I would play Tekken 6, and I got good at reading them. I didn't actually know how to play Tekken. I just, knew how to play the person across from me.
Sure.
Then around 2019, when I got my first programming job, there was this guy from the FGC, from the local FGC, right? And I'm like, yeah, I play Tekken, yo, let's go. And that is when I got wrecked, and that's when I realized there is a lot more to fighting games than I ever knew. And that's where I learned frame data, block punishment, whiff punishment, um, all this art and no science. Yeah, all this science that goes
Yeah.
into fighting
It's a
games.
small college class to learn how to play a
Yeah,
fighting game.
exactly. Like I realized, like I was owning people in Tekken 6, in my Indonesian local where no one knew how to do a combo, no one properly block punished. All we did was look for gaps in strings and try to, beat out the person's string or sidestep, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is when I started playing Tekken 7, like 2019. That is when I was literally coached. Like my local, they're the nicest people ever. They started coaching me and like, there would be, and this is where I learned I love the culture. Like I remember I was playing a Julia character, a Julia player, and he did the same thing to me 3 times. He's like, bro, this is what you have to do if I do that. And then he kept doing it until I countered. And he's like, see, now you got it. So that was so cool. He literally taught me how to beat him,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that was such a positive um what do you call it experience, and that's why till this day I'll die on the hill that I love the FGC. I think we're the least toxic gaming community, and I'll die on that hill. I don't care what anybody says.
I agree with
Yeah,
you. That was actually
yeah,
I think the first time I ever do. That's not true. I did duet some other people, but I remember you. I was on my vacation and I actually duetted
yeah,
one. I just followed you, and I remember
yeah,
duetting your video. Are we the most
yeah,
toxic community, or least
yeah,
toxic community? And I
yes,
remember that, and I'm like, I think we are, and it has a bunch of different reasons. One,
yeah,
don't get me wrong, salt exists. That's never gonna go
yeah.
away in
That's
any
not gonna
video
go away.
game. No one likes
Yeah,
losing. That's the case.
yeah,
But in fighting games, I think we're just more conditioned because losing is part of the game. Like you
yeah,
need to lose. Like you need to lose because the whole process. If you don't enjoy the process of losing, you're not gonna be good at fighting games. It's
you're not.
plain and simple. And I honestly, there's another guy. I don't know if he's followed you yet. Xeno FGC. He's in my server.
Yeah,
And,
yes,
he has me and him have had very long, lengthy conversations about this. That we essentially, you're not allowed to like enjoy this game, enjoy any fighting game until you realize that you have to be bad to get better. And the second you realize that, it changes everything. Like when I go into a match and I lose a match, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to face this guy again. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's
yeah,
that enjoyment you get from
yeah.
facing someone again, and it humbles you. Like you
It
real it
does.
humbles you so much that you pretty much are more or less forced to like either chill out or you turn into someone like Leffen or Low Tier King. Those are the
Yeah,
only other
exactly.
options. You turn
When no
into
one
a prick.
likes you.
Like that's the
Yeah.
only other option you have. So
Yeah, my greatest like people who, because a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're into competitive video gaming. What is that? That's not like what is? It's not a sport." I'm like, the experience I had in the FGC is similar to like any white belt Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy. You go in there, you think you've taken wrestling or like taekwondo and you can beat somebody. Then you go and this guy just chokes you out 8 different ways and you get humbled and you're like, okay, I need to learn. So it humbles you, and then it's 1v1, right?
mhm.
You cannot blame anyone but
Yep,
yourself
it
for
is
losing.
one and one only person.
Exactly, and I love that. And the thing is, like, there's definitely salt, there's definitely toxicity, right? I'm not gonna say it's zero toxicness, but like, I remember my first time playing League of Legends. It was also in 2019, right? The beginning of 2019. And I was, I just did the tutorial, then I entered a bot match. It was literally a human team versus a bot team,
Mhm.
right? It was unranked on everything, right? Because, I gotta learn how to play the game. And I made a mistake. And there's no, what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Nothing bad will happen to your rank if you lose this type of game, right?
Sure.
There's no consequence. It's just a practice match. I mess up, and this dude literally threatens to like violate a female family member of mine. I don't want to repeat what he says because like it was like it's not safe for the internet, right?
Yeah,
And I was
understandable.
like, I'm like in my 30s, and I'm like, dude, did you really just say that? Like, that is like if you said that out loud in public, like you would probably get arrested, right? And I'm just like, wow. So I just turned off the game and I just never went back. And I've noticed that in Call of Duty and League. And I'm not dissing the communities. I'm not dissing the games themselves. I used to love Call of Duty 4, right? And Modern Warfare 2. But it's just the fact is I don't wanna open myself up to that type of lobby where people are talking like that. In the FGC, I think we don't have anonymity of the internet, like especially when you go to your locals, literally the person sitting right next to you, right?
Oh
If you
yeah.
talk like that, you'll probably get kicked out of the venue, right? The venue will probably be like, yeah, you need to leave, right?
I don't get me wrong. There's always
Yeah,
gonna be outliers and stuff, and like
yeah,
when there's discrimination against race, creed, or sexual
yeah,
orientation, you name it,
yeah,
that's never gonna really go away. But I think
yeah,
when you look at like the fighting game community as a whole, I think we're pretty more,
yeah.
and I think it's because we're older. Like if you look at like
We are.
the old like there's the whole entire last big Street Fighter tournament. All those dudes were in their
Yeah,
40s, bro. Like
exactly.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah,
we're an older generation. Like I'm heading towards the big four. You know what I mean? I'm not
yeah,
heading towards the big three
exactly.
anymore. I've been around since like I'm a year younger than Street Fighter 1. Dude, so I'm a year younger than Street Fighter 1. So I've been around for a while.
Yeah,
So like
exactly.
we're just more mature. Like I'm not saying we're not, and also
Yeah,
like we're the whole thing where we're willing to like lose really helps because there's no
yeah.
instant gratification. There's a
There's no,
long
yeah,
term gratification, and like you
exactly.
see it over time getting better, and it's just such a great feeling. But
Yeah, it's just such a great feeling, and I love it. And I feel like also online when I'm playing online, there's not like a lobby. You're not actually talking to people sometimes.
yeah,
You're just there focused on winning. So even online it's just um you're keeping the game as a game. You're not gonna hear a 12-year-old say something way out right wing that if you threaten somebody like that in real life, you might get arrested, you know?
don't get me
Yeah,
wrong. Some of the stuff
love
that
it.
is said is pretty funny. Every now and then
Yeah.
watching Warzone clips can be entertaining. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
okay, yeah,
That can
that
be
is
funny,
true. That
but it's
yeah.
still not appropriate in certain cases. But
Yeah, I actually love. Okay, just talking about toxicity. Like sometimes, like the salt and toxicity is funny. I don't know if you know the Justin Wong video of he's playing Mortal Kombat and he's Jax, and I think it was Mortal Kombat 9. It was a while back. It was before he had kids, right? And he's Jax, and all he does is spam the missiles, right? His projectile, and this 12-year-old's like, "You're so cheap. That's all you know how to do. That's all. You're so cheap." And he's like, okay, if this is so cheap, you should be able to counter it. And he keeps doing it, and the kid's screaming, and Justin Wong's like, yeah, I'm going to hell for this. It was a
that
funny
stuff is
clip.
well. You obviously had to have seen the clip that happened earlier this year with the Shiva in Mortal Kombat
Hmm.
11.
No, I didn't.
I'll
I
show you
didn't.
it
What
after.
happened?
Essentially, it's like a clip. There's some girl in it, like like an amateur tournament, and someone's just
Yeah.
using Shiva and only using her dragon stomp, where she like jumps off the screen, then comes back down and stomps on you. And
Yeah.
someone just did it, and it made a girl come to tears, and it went viral, dude. I'll send you the link. It's but
Okay.
but that's one of those things. Like all you need to do is like when that happens, you gotta like backdash, man. You gotta run forward. You gotta
Yeah.
know how to deal with Shiva. They
Yeah.
eventually nerfed her to the ground, but still, it's like that kind of stuff. Like I felt bad for that girl, but in the back of
Yeah.
my mind, I was giggling inside. And I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
all right. So let's talk
Yeah.
games here. What are your name your top 5 favorite fighting games?
Yeah, so fighting games like it'll go like Samurai Showdown, Tekken. You know, let me be like the new Samurai Showdown, it's the remake.
Yeah,
I
the new
like
Sam
it.
show is
People hate it.
amazing.
I love it. Yeah.
It just needs rollback.
Yeah. It just I don't know whose bright idea was that netcode.
Well, because those games are supposed to be meant to be played right next to each other. That was meant to be
Yeah.
like you playing with me while you're here, not to be played
Yeah.
overseas. So
But like I feel like fighting games nowadays live and die by netcode. Even though fighting games are supposed to be played offline, they live and die with netcode.
I think they live and die
Um,
by netcode now more
yeah,
than ever because of the
yeah,
obvious like what happened during the pandemic. It was a nightmare.
yeah.
Like being a fighting game fanatic or fan or
Oh yeah.
player during the pandemic was rough. Like there's
Yes.
no nice. Every other game's like Call of Duty thrived during this. You know what I mean? And they had horrible servers most of the time. Fighting game players, like your game's destroyed. You can't even play honorably. You know what I mean? It's not fun.
Yeah.
So
It's not fun. Yeah. Actually, that's a good point because I remember right before the pandemic, actually like 6 months before the pandemic, like Apex Legends was a dead game. To me, like I remember all my coworkers stopped. They're like, "This is a dead game, Apex Legends." And then like pandemic happened, everyone's stuck at home, and Apex Legends grew. So yeah, so fighting games, from the fighting games, I would say, from that genre will be Samurai Showdown. I'll say series. No, I'll say games. It's Street Fighter 5. Yes, I like Street Fighter 5. I like Tekken 7. I like the new Samurai Showdown. And Guilty Gear Strive is my first Guilty Gear game. Rev 2, I did not know what was happening. Like,
dude, I don't know what's going on in Rev, man.
Yeah, there's way too much going on. I do not know why people play Rev 2.
Dude, don't get me wrong. Like, they're old school Guilty Gear games. Like, the creator wanted them to be challenging. You know what I mean? So, like, you walk into those games expecting it to be challenging. And they did a really good job. For that.
Yo,
like, they're hard. It's a hard game. They're fun. Don't get me wrong. They're fun to play and learn to, like, that was one of those few games I spent the time trying to learn everything. And by the time I got to the point where I learned everything, I still had to go that extra 1,000 miles to get to the point where even competitively would even be viable. Because no one is going to face some noob who just started. You know what I mean? They're just going to destroy me and never want to play me again. Like, there's no learning curve. So those, it was more of just bad timing. Strive did a good job because people are getting into it right now. And I think Strive, is going to be game of the year when it comes to fighting games. I don't think anything has a chance.
Strive's good. I love Strive. I like Rev 2, don't get me wrong. It was just when I played it, I didn't get to play. It was like someone just beat me up for 60 seconds or 90 seconds. And I just put my controller down, right? It's just like, why do you have an infinite combo? Like, what is this, right? So, Samurai Showdown, Tekken 7, Strive, Power Rangers was a surprise. I did not expect to like Power Rangers as much as I did.
Yo, did you see who they added?
Yeah, Ryu. They added Ryu and Chun-Li. I have not played them yet.
They added season 4 got announced yesterday. I actually I don't want to spoil it for you if you don't know.
Oh, okay.
Because the video's live, you can go watch it after this. But it's my it's my YouTube video. It's my it's a TikTok I made for tomorrow. Is talking about the 3 characters that I got.
Oh, okay.
3 new characters, dude. I got so excited for the 3rd one. I was like, yeah. So, So I'm not gonna tell you. If you're a Power Rangers fan, you're gonna like the 3rd character. That's all I'm gonna say. You're close to my age. So you're gonna like what you see. You're gonna like what you see.
Oh, okay. I'm definitely gonna check that out then.
Yep.
And then Third Strike, I do like Street Fighter Third Strike. I'm not good at it at all. And at first I thought it was funny. I'm like, this is just like Super Turbo or like, Street Fighter 5. Like, it's just an old game. I like it. And then my locals has a huge Third Strike. Like, my local is like Tekken 7 and Third Strike, right? And then like 1 or 2 guys who play Guilty Gear, Rev 2. Back when, before the pandemic. And I played with Third Strike guys. And Lord have mercy. Third Strike guys are just crazy good. And Third Strike, there's just so much going on. And I didn't realize there was so much depth to an old game. And I feel like I should have, during the dark ages of fighting games, I feel like I missed out not playing Third Strike.
I played Third Strike a bunch in high school because there was just one of the games that like one of my choir teacher, not mine, I didn't take choir, but like there was a choir teacher that allowed a lot of kids to come hang out, like if they had free periods and stuff, and he had his system there. It hooked up to the TV in the room, so we'd just be sitting there playing like Smash Brawl and Third Strike, like all of those games, all of his old school games, and we were playing that all day. So I have a little bit of memories with some of those games, but dude, there was just like that generation like struggled, like I would say like 2005 to like 2000, pretty much until Street Fighter 4. Yeah, until Street Fighter 4 came out, man, everything struggled. Like Tekken
Yeah.
didn't have a banger until what, Tekken 6, I think.
5, yeah.
When did Jin fight Azazel? That was in 6, right?
Jin fight Azazel, I think that was 6, yeah.
That's 6, yeah. That was the
Yeah.
because I don't even remember really enjoying the other Tekkens. Tekken 4 I skipped. I outside of playing it at the arcade, I just didn't enjoy 4.
Yeah.
Man,
And I think SNK stopped, right? Like SNK was making Samurai Showdown. What's the other game that they make? King of Fighters. I used to love that series as a kid.
Think
but
you know
stopped.
what? Yeah, because I think they thought they were going bankrupt. That was right around the time. That was right around that time. SNK stopped too, and Smash is its own entity. You know what I mean? So like that was going on still, but
and as much I just want people who watch my TikToks. I love Smash 64. I love Smash 64, because it came out during the dark ages of fighting games, and I got a fighting game feel without actually playing a real fighting game. But I love Smash 64. I love that party game mechanic that it had. And so I know I joke around about it, but I like the Smash series. I just I think Smash is a party game, and I like Smash.
Can I ask why do you think it's a party game? Where does that come from?
So starting from Smash 64 and played so many hours of Smash 64, every board, you don't have the option of getting like a regular board in Smash 64. All the boards are janky, right? Like the Hyrule Castle,
so like
Saffron City.
The stages are bad, is what you're saying.
Yeah, the stages are always janky. They always have traps, right? And then items was new. It was like so cool getting a Pokeball and having either Goldeen popped up that did nothing, or like that bee Pokemon, I forgot its name, that just took over half the screen. So to me, it was a party game that you played. You know, Nintendo 64 was the first system to have 4 players. I still remember all my friends sitting on a couch playing 4-player free-for-all, going all out, right? I feel like it was supposed to be a party game, and then people were like, oh, let's make this competitive. So starting from Melee on, or past Melee, whatever it was after Melee, they got the option of having regular boards with no traps. I feel like a Smash, and most of the Mario games, like Mario Party, Mario Strikers, which is a soccer game, Mario Kart, Mario Tennis, those are supposed to be party games. I don't think they were ever supposed to be super competitive like Tekken 7 and, Mortal Kombat. I don't think they were meant to be like that. People turned it into competitiveness, but I feel like by design they were just supposed to be games you laughed about. You get what I'm saying?
I know, I get it. I've always, every time I hear the party thing, it just always confuses me. Sakurai has admitted multiple times that he got inspired by King of Fighters and Street Fighter to make Smash Brothers. In fact, the original version of it was going to be a fighting game. Using models. Really? Captain Falcon's entire model was actually an example of what the character was going to be. Yeah, so like when I hear the party game thing, I get it. Don't get me wrong. Like Sakurai said it's supposed to be for fun and he made the game in terms so anyone could pick up and play.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Which I think is the interpretation a lot of people get wrong with. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I like at certain levels, like I would much rather play Injustice 2 than Smash Brothers right now. But like that's like my fighting game. I love Smash, and I personally don't think it's a party game because it has things called like the Fighter Pass, and it says fight as you begin the match. There's a bunch of reasons. The thing's called Melee and Brawl. There's a lot of reasons that I don't think it is. Like I respect people's opinions, but usually when people start saying that it's not a fighting game, I immediately think it's because they don't like Smash. They're just doing it to troll, or they're copying something from someone else. It's usually my three go-to reasons why people say that. So I'm wondering which of those 3 you are.
Oh, okay. So when I write in my TikToks, when I do my TikToks, they're trolling, and also I do feel like the Smash competitive scene, because they're younger than the rest of us, they're kind of more toxic. I think they give the FGC a bad name sometimes.
Oh, right? It's horrible.
Like whenever I say the FGC is awesome, and then someone comes to me like, But I was in a Smash tournament. I'm like, oh god, they're gonna tell me like a horror story right now, right?
Dude, but that is a young generation. That's the whole thing.
Yeah,
I was
it's a young
saying.
generation.
It's a very young group of people that are playing Smash.
Yeah, but I remember when Smash 64 came out. Nintendo 64 came out. It's just my memories of playing on the couch. The games we played were Mario Kart, Mario Party, which is a great game, and Smash Brothers. So to me, like psychologically, it's been, what do you call it? Grouped in with those Mario games that was supposed to be family friendly games, right? And then like for example, Mario Strikers is not a soccer game, right? It's not FIFA. FIFA is a sports game, soccer game, you know. NBA 2K.
Yeah, FIFA's a gambling game. That's
yeah, FIFA's a gambling game. Yeah. But like NBA 2K, that's like a sports game, right?
Yeah.
Mario Strikers and Mario Tennis are not sports games. They're fun family games, and you could make them competitive. We played a lot of competitive Mario Strikers.
You know, Mario Kart like is more cutthroat than some like FPS games.
Yeah. Mario Kart could get cutthroat.
Yeah.
But I remember as a kid, you know, Mario Kart was fun. I just remember sitting on the couch with my friends, jumping up and down. Right? I just never played a Mario game super seriously. Right? So that's all it is. Obviously, I would say it is a fighting game. It's obviously competitive. It's just I grew up in an era where like 4 players did not exist, right? And Nintendo 64 was the first 4-player console, and it wasn't split screen, and you just played with your friends, free for all, doing silly things, and just having fun, right? So that's why I have a hard time playing Smash competitively. I like all the items turned on. I like having all stage traps turned on.
It's fun as hell.
But then whenever I meet someone, like I have friends on my Discord server, and even like offline, they're like, no man, you're supposed to play without any items, and you're supposed to play the flat stages, because that's competitive. I'm like, I don't want to play competitive Smash. I want to play party Smash. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I still haven't bought Smash Ultimate on the Switch, because I want to make friends who play party Smash, I guess, and don't play flat stages items off. I want items on. I want all the silliness.
Okay. You're the first person who's actually been able to like give me a thought out example and that's coherent and not just what I said, because it's usually those same 3. Now I still feel. Maybe I'll add a 4th that it's a nostalgia thing. Maybe there's a 4th reason it's a nostalgia thing for you. Because you actually gave me reasons that made sense to me. I still think you're wrong, and it's a fighting game. But
it's for me.
Yeah. And I also think it's not Street Fighter. No way at all. It's not a 2D fighter. It is a subgenre of the FGC, which is a platform fighter. It falls in there with Brawlhalla, Rivals of Ether, with this Nickelodeon game that's coming out. It's going to have its own subgenre. That's what it is.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Yeah, and like people that say no, it's not. I'm just like, what are you talking about? But anyways, let's move on from there, because I feel like that was a question I want to ask.
Sure. So, and I just joke in my TikTok. That's it. Don't.
Dude, some of the stuff I say in my TikTok, I don't mean. Are you serious?
Yeah. True that. Okay.
So, let's talk about something outside of fighting. What other games do you play outside of here? You mentioned League, which I need to know about.
League, man. I just had negative experience in that, so I just like played it for like a few weeks. But like a MOBA that I liked that no one else likes, it was Heroes of the Storm.
Dude, I love Blizzard. HOTS was the best, dude.
Okay, thank you. Everybody's like, oh, that's the MOBA people played that couldn't play League. I'm like, okay, but it was fun. I'm like, I don't care. It was fun as heck. And then like, what do you call it? Games like Baldur's Gate 2, which was my first introduction to D&D, right? Because I used to play Diablo.
It was a great game to start with.
Yeah, Diablo 1 and 2. And then I'm like, oh, Baldur's Gate looks like Diablo. It was Diablo's hack and slash, right? The Blizzard games. And Baldur's Gate is turn-based. And I didn't understand the turn-based. And I always lose Baldur's Gate. And he used to make me so mad. And then I understood D&D second edition rules, and then I understood what I was doing wrong, and understood the game wasn't hack and slash. And Baldur's Gate 2 is amazing, still probably my favorite game. Zelda Ocarina of Time in the Nintendo 64, amazing. And then more modern games, Valorant. I am on this Valorant train. I suck at it.
Yeah, you were watching me play on Twitch, like a month or two ago. I'm like, God, I'm bad.
Oh yeah.
I'm just not dude. If I'm playing a shooter, it's me playing just for goofs, and it's just I'm very little effort being put in. But you were the one guiding me through. I didn't even know what I was doing.
No. So with Valorant, the thing is, for me to finally start enjoying Valorant, like I haven't played consistently a fighting game for like I want to say 2 months, and then I started enjoying Valorant because I feel like fighting games, the issue is like the reason I got into fighting games like hardcore was because having kids, I don't have a lot of time. Fighting games in an hour I get like a FT10 in, right? But like an hour of Valorant, I only got one game in, and if I lost I won't play again, but I don't have time, right? An hour in Tekken, I just got FT10, maybe FT5. I don't know. I got mad games in. So like I feel like one of the draws for fighting games for me was that the short game time. So I had to like quit fighting games for like 2 months to actually enjoy Valorant. And I'm winning more in Valorant, right? Especially on casual unranked. So I'm actually enjoying it now. So I feel like if you want to get into shooters again, you need to quit. You need to take like a break from fighters. It's weird. That's how my brain works. I can't explain it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, like I'll pop up Fortnite every now and then, and just like I'm the guy that will pop into Fortnite and go fishing. Like, like I'm the guy that will just, like So like I'll do that. Like, but like it is deceiving how many games you can get in Fortnite. Like when Strive dropped, I was just sitting there just match after match after match after match. Yeah. I didn't even pay attention, and I looked at the clock like, oh, I've been playing for 4 hours. So maybe I should go do something. Like you don't pay attention because it's just hundreds of matches. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me, Pokemon Unite.
Oh yeah, you were playing that a lot, dude.
Oh my god, I love Pokemon because I do like MOBAs. I miss Heroes of Storm, but no one plays that anymore, right? Everyone, all my friends quit. Pokemon Unite is so easy to pick up, and the games aren't as short as a like Tekken match, right? But 10 minutes, like if I want to take a break from work from coding and play a 10-minute match, or maybe if I lose, I want to play another one. It's 20 minutes. It's okay. Like in an hour, I'll get 6 games in. It's fine. It's cool, right? And the iconic characters of Pokemon, come on, right? So I love this game. It is. I have to watch myself because I might get addicted. So, yeah, that's awesome. Love that game.
I'm trying to think if there's like there's one. Oh, them's fighting herds. That's what I wanted to talk to you about.
Oh, yeah.
Because like that was because of something with your daughter, right?
Yeah. So my friend actually told me. So my daughters actually like Tekken, right? They see me play. They're like, "Oh, this is Daddy's favorite game," and I have a big fight stick, so they're not. I used to play with PS4, DS4 controller, and they couldn't. My thumbs started hurting, so I got a big fight stick, a Hori Rap 4, and my kids just love to smash the buttons on it. And I was actually playing online with this beginner Lars player, and I had to do the dishes. I'm like, honey, come here, just push this button. And she just kept smashing the buttons and won, right?
Yeah.
It was like one of the lower ranks, the Q ranks when they had them. And what do you call it? She's like, I like this game, Tekken. So, that's how me and my kids bonded. And then one of my friends on my Discord server, they're like, yo, them's fighting herd. And at the time, my daughters were watching My Little Pony. And I'm like, this looks a lot similar to My Little Pony. So I got it, and they call them fighting herds, what do you call it? Pony Tekken. They call it Pony Tekken, right?
Yeah.
So they're like, I don't want to play Tekken. I want to play Pony Tekken. So, and what they like to do is pick the unicorn character, I forget its name, and read books and charge up their magic. So they love it, and it's just a fighting game I could play with them. Because when I'm playing Tekken with them,
my daughter is like, "Go easy on me so I can win." She's like 6, right?
Yeah, of course.
When it's yeah, exactly. When it's Pony Tekken, and plus like when you're, I can't shut it off. Like
Yeah.
I will always like. It's not like I'm playing competitively against her, but I can't shut off like not launching her and doing a combo. Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I can't do it. With them fighting herds, I kept it casual. So I don't know how to play the game,
Yeah.
but I kept it casual, and it's a way to bond with my kids, and they absolutely love it. And they call Tekken, then they call Street Fighter not that Tekken because they never want to play Street Fighter, and they call them fighting herds Pony Tekken because at that time they liked My Little Pony, and I think I read somewhere where the game was originally supposed to be a My Little Pony.
It was. I was just about to tell you this. Like, yeah. So
Yeah.
the team there were all a bunch of bronies, and they made an actual My Little Pony indie fighting game that was going to be free to play, and then it got picked up by Evo. I think it was Evo or some big tournament, and they were going to like feature them, and then Hasbro or whoever has the My Little Ponies like, oh hell no, you know what I mean? So all their work got a cease and desist. So the creator of the newest My Little Pony Friendship is Magic like contacted them, was like, do you want me to create you guys new IPs? Like, I'll create the whole world for you. And they're like,
No.
Sure. So I think it's Lauren something. She gave all of that information to them, and they all created brand new characters using the same. Because you can kind of look at some of the characters from and they all kind of resemble most of the characters from My Little Pony. I haven't really got into the show, I'll be honest. I'm not a brony, but like I know there's like the one you just mentioned, the rainbow one, reads books. That's like one of the main characters from the Pony Show. And there's the Arizona from the Texan girl or Texas boy, whatever one it is, the little calf there. That's supposed to be Applejack from like, so all of them were based off of one of the characters, which I just love. It's hilarious that they like were able to like incorporate it to an extent. But
and I haven't gotten into it, but I will say, if I ever get time to get into it, I think it's around the in-depth games, because bar resource, the resource in that game is very different from any other resource management, because some people start with a full bar, some people start with no bar, some people bars don't recharge, other people's bars recharge but manually, other people's bars recharge passively. There's a lot of depth to that game.
Oh, it's
that
huge.
People don't.
Like,
So
it's the same system. I think I sent it to you. I was actually recommended you to do like a series a while back. And to do Skullgirls. Skullgirls, they use the same exact fighting game system. It's the same exact engine that as them's fighting herds. So like you probably noticed some similarities. Dude, they're both just solid games. But all right, we need to talk about D&D. So let's I'll let you go right into it. Explain how you first got into D&D.
I kind of went into, like, when I started playing Baldur's Gate, it looked like Diablo to me, but Diablo's hack and slash. Baldur's Gate, I'm like, what is this? And Baldur's Gate was 2nd edition D&D, right? So this is like when D&D was too complicated to play. Like, you had THAC0, 2-hit, armor class 0, which is one of the dumbest systems I ever like heard of. I used to gatekeep with it, but now that I'm looking back at it, I'm like, THAC0 is dumb. Why would you ever do that? Okay. So I got into Baldur's Gate, and then I couldn't, because like I'm originally from New York City, so like there's no like game shops, right? Now that I moved to where I am in the down south in America, there's more game shops, and I saw people. I feel like this is when 5th edition first came out. Like 5th edition just had came out. They had the Player's Handbook and the Hoard of the Dragon Queen. This is before the Monster Manual and the Dungeon Master Guide came out. And people were playing at the store. And I just started playing War Machine, which is a miniatures game. And I just started seeing people play D&D and other board games. So I started playing board games, and I'm like, you know what? Let's try D&D. Like proper D&D. So I want to say this is back. Yeah, this is exactly when 5th edition first came out. I forget what year. And I loved it. I'm not good at, role playing, but I love rolling dice. I love dungeon crawling, and I still say the reason I liked it was because I played Baldur's Gate. I love the Forgotten Realms, I prefer playing in the Forgotten Realms or like any of the pre-made settings. I like homebrew also, but I like pre-made settings because so I'm like it is cool going into a world you're familiar with and not like a homebrew world, and going into a world you're familiar with and like interacting with characters that you interacted with in a video game like Drist and whatnot. And to me that was awesome and I loved it, and I just got into it. I don't know what happened. I just saw. I don't know. I think it's the dice. That
The
I got to
dice.
roll different dice.
What was your
Yeah,
first character? What was the first character you made?
it's always a paladin, right?
Okay.
The reason why. So Baldur's Gate, and it goes back to Baldur's Gate because of my first introduction of D&D. Baldur's Gate 2. The only character I could actually like get far in the game with, because those games are hard.
Oh, they still are.
Yeah, they still are.
Like,
Like, yo,
Baldur's Gate 3 is amazing. It just needs to be fixed. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, I haven't played Baldur's Gate. Like I have the game, but I haven't played it. I just created a character, and now I'm like, you know what? When they add a paladin, I'll start playing again.
Well, when they fix all the bugs is one of the first thing they need to do.
When they fix all the bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate this new early access. It's like, bro, just finish the game and give it to me, right? But what do you call it? So it's a hard game, Baldur's Gate 2, and I feel like, and second edition spellcasters, it's like they're gimped in earlier levels, right? So the first class I could actually like win with was a paladin, right? Because it had healing and it was like a martial class. So since then, I just love paladins. I love I played paladins in Diablo 2 also, and I just love the concept of like a holy fighter, and like I'm like, I used to be a chaplain in real life, so it just fit me. I didn't like clerics. I feel like clerics are more like I don't know. That it's too religious. I want to be religious, but not that religious. I still want to be a fighter, right? It's weird. So I feel like paladins are like noble, even if they're like evil and violent. There's a code of conduct that they follow, like an honorable, like a samurai or a knight. They have this code that even if they're evil, they still have to follow a code, right? And I just liked it. And then so that was my first, and then class in 5th edition. It was my first class in Baldur's Gate 2, because technically that was the only class I could win with. Everything else I just deleted. And then I tried Sorcerer in 5th edition. I did not try a Wizard. I tried a Sorcerer because I feel like the Sorcerer's little gimmick that it has, the I forget what it's called right now. I'm drawing a blank. Where you could change the spells, like you could you could use Witch Bolt, but you like cast 2 Witch Bolts. You have these points that you could use to change spells, and you could use to like use a spell slot that you don't have. I just found it was cool, and I also found that it was cool that like at the higher levels, if you're like a dragon sorcerer, you get wings, I believe. So I just found that cool. So that was like my second class. Then my third class was Hexblade Warlock in 5th edition. Those things are exactly what I wanted. So yeah, those are my classes.
So you're a paladin guy. I got into paladins too. I never played. Take that back. I played one paladin. We had a Greek mythology campaign I did at college, and I played a paladin of Zeus. That was fun. But I played paladins because of World of Warcraft. I played WoW.
Ooh.
And I was.
You were a Alliance guy. Okay.
I was. Well, actually, I'm a dwarf guy.
Okay.
I just love dwarves. I think they're the coolest class. I liked them when I read The Hobbit the first time when I was a kid. So I immediately fell in love with ideas of what a dwarf was. I just thought they were rugged and like cool and stubborn. I just liked the characters. So when I looked at all the races in World of Warcraft, I'm like, I'm clearly going with a dwarf. I didn't know anything about the lore, by the way. I didn't play the original like Warcraft games till after I played World of Warcraft. So I started playing. Yeah, I played
Warcraft
WoW
2
first.
was my first PC game. Warcraft 2 was my first PC game.
Really? My first PC game. What was my first? I think my first PC game was Doom 2.
Yeah. Okay. Not okay. Doom 2 and like Stellar 7. Like I guess you could say Warcraft 2 was my first RTS game. Like Doom, everyone's first game is Doom.
Yeah, I
Like,
remember loading that shit up on a
yeah.
floppy disk, bro. Like,
Yeah, like not including the floppy disk games, right?
Yeah,
like Stellar 7, I remember Stellar 7 was like 21 floppy disks that you would have to like install. And like Doom, not Doom.
I vaguely
not,
remember
yeah.
download. I think it's like a Diablo-esque Marvel game where you play the Fantastic Four.
Ooh.
And it was
okay,
like it was a
that.
dungeon crawler where you played the Fantastic Four, and I remember I loved that game.
Yeah,
it was the same
yeah.
company that eventually made the Marvel versus Alliance games.
Okay.
It's the same company there, but yeah. All right,
Okay.
so when it comes to that's your intro. Those are your classes. I got there's a couple of D&D things I want to go over with you. So what do you feel you need to do to have a good experience? Because we're already at 50 minutes, dude. So what is your go-to? What is your to have a good experience in D&D? What would you recommend?
So session 0, and I'll be posting this on my TikTok, and you could go to my Twitch to watch the VODs. But I have a D&D guy, Garrett. He's also on TikTok. I forget his handle. So if you follow me, look for a guy that's also called Garrett. If you follow I Am the Rubric, look for a guy named Garrett. He has amazing session zeros. He talks to people before session 0, like talks to them before that's happening. And then he has like a form, like a legit, like something that you have in at work. Like this is a consent form, right? And he keeps it professional, which is awesome, right? I never thought, because I've had bad experience in D&D because I played with my friends. And we're already comfortable with each other, so we joke around a lot. But during D&D, people are sacrificing their time, people are committed to other things, and everyone wants something different from the game, right? It's not like a video game where it's like linear and programmed. D&D games could go anywhere. So having a session 0 and making sure everyone's comfortable and everyone gives consent, right? With consent, like, for example, I am not comfortable with murder hobos. I think people who go around killing everybody are crazy. But some people might find that fun. Eventually, maybe I will join a game where we're an evil party and we do kill everything. But at the moment, I'm not there yet. I do not consent to that type of behavior. We sign the contract and we follow the contract. And then, we'll play 1 or 2 campaigns or one shots, and then we will get to the guy could ask whoever wants that type of game, like, can we play an evil game where we murder everybody? And then, we'll discuss consent again. And then, like, for example, this actually happened in the second game. One of my friends was like, one of the players that play on my Discord was like, and you can see this on the VOD. I don't know if I have it on the VOD, I'm sorry. But they said, hey, you're playing a racist elf, but, like, it's getting too much. Can you pull back? And the player was like, absolutely, I'll pull back. Right, so communication and consent, just like in any professional and personal relationship you may have, are keys to have a good D&D experience. If you're gonna be like a 12-year-old league player, you're not gonna have a good experience. Period.
Yeah. I feel like that's also like you can tell, with a lot of like, I've definitely played with people in D&D who like. When it comes to maturity levels, you can just tell, like, this person shouldn't be doing this. Like, They don't have the maturity level. And I think that's, like, group dynamic is huge. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I think
it's huge.
Playing with strangers, I think, is a bit of a challenge. And also, in the same point, even playing with certain friends is difficult as well, because you start seeing different sides of people you've never seen before because of the role-playing aspect. You mentioned, I want to touch on this a little bit more. You said you're, when it comes to role-playing, you said you're not the best at role-playing?
I'm not the best. Like, some people change their voices. Some people, like, could act out a whole character. Like, me, a lot of times, like, I freeze up. And I'm like, what do I say? And, like, I start stuttering and I don't know what to say. Right? So I'm, like, it's very hard for me. I keep playing. I like, typecasted myself to the same character over and over again. You know what I'm saying? So watching people play is actually helping me because I'm learning how other people are, allowing themselves to be someone else. I think if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
In the meantime, I'm assuming you're more of the analytical, like you're trying to like figure out how to solve situations more than
Yeah, I'm all about the
being
dungeon crawl and strategy. Like when there's a battle, I will say, "Don't do that. Please do this. We could win it like this." Like
So
I start blabbering strategies off because I know every character's like how we could synchronize our battle strategy.
okay. So
Yeah.
before we finish up here, this will
Yeah.
what you just told me pretty much
Yeah.
kind of filled in the blanks for me about you
Yeah.
when it comes to D&D
Yeah.
because you play a paladin,
Yeah.
which is no
Yeah.
offense, kind of straightforward.
Yeah.
I heal things and hit people hard, and you
Yeah.
also kind of have a hatred for a certain class.
Yeah,
Is that why? Because bards roleplay too much? Is that part of the reason?
I feel like every bard player I've played with has this thing that they have to be the main character. I'm sure bard is a cool class, but every bard I've met so far has to be center stage all the time. Like the whole story is about them, and then some of them like it just doesn't work, right? Like for some like one player I was playing with in the game shop, he wanted to be like B from Naruto, and he wants to like rap before he does a move. It's like, bro, we're in the middle of a battle, and I'm trying to be like tactical, and this guy got to rap before he rolls his dice. It's like, bro, like, and maybe it just wasn't a good dynamic, right? I feel like I don't get a good dynamic with bard players, but I've met people who have played bard, and I look forward to playing with them soon. Like, there's I forget his name. It's Mango Dry DM. He's on my server also. Suf, if you watch the D&D VODs I have, SUF is his Discord, and he usually plays bards, and he was playing a paladin this game. But like he's a guy who understands through experience that you can't be the main character all the time and to give other people a turn, right? So I think I would enjoy playing bard with him, and I think I am the Rubric, who is another person who follows me on TikTok. She would make an excellent bard. I would love to see her play a bard.
Rubric's the best.
Yeah. So yeah, and she's doing the monster manual, which was on my what do you call it? I gave the advice to do it, and then she blew it up. That whole monster manual, but cute. It was my idea, and she took it and ran with it. I'm so proud of her, by the way. And so those two are people that I would love to see them play bard, and because we have a friendship and we understand one another and we have good communication, I think I would be able to put up with them playing a bard. If that makes sense.
I've had fun, and I feel like people when you have a campaign that has a bard, there's always a bunch of people who have that same opinion. Like I'm a cleric. I've had more clerics than I think I've had any other class. That's my go-to thing because I'm more of I feel like the cleric is more of the okay, everyone messed everything up, I gotta fix it. That's kind of like that's kind of how I feel. Like there's all because there's certain stereotypes in D&D that that's driving me up a wall. Like probably the biggest one is like when a barbarian's like, I need to break everything. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Like,
that's not
like,
what you're supposed to.
Everything from everyone.
Yeah, it's like
right?
no, that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be you.
Yeah.
Stop
and as
following.
A paladin,
yeah.
I fall into that too because as a paladin, the reason I pick paladin sometimes is because when people don't listen to me in battle strategy, I'm like, you know what? I could probably one-shot this guy. Let's go. And I've done that with as just a stick. We lost our sword. I had a stick. I smited, did so much damage. One-shot the guy. Like, it's just like, okay, no one's listening to me. We don't have a battle plan. You know what? Push the nuclear option. One shot, one kill, right? So, that's where I am with the paladin. So you're absolutely right. I fall into that too.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, dude, we're already at a freaking hour, dude. This feels like we've been talking for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's finish up here. Where could everyone find you? Tell us like social media plugs.
Okay, cool. So twitch.tv/LoneWolfSeven. That's my, that's where I want to grow. And then TikTok at LoneWolf7. That's where I do a lot of my comedy and stuff. And you also see some of my background, like other things like my politics and my religion. But I do keep it try to keep it mostly to video games and geek culture and my opinions of comics, right? Like diversity in comics, and also what comics taught me how to live as a human being. I also talk about that. And then my Instagram is LoneWolf707, because someone took LoneWolf7 spelt out, so I had to just put the number 07 at the end of it. And
Dude,
that's
me
just
too. That made me so angry on Instagram. I'm like, what the frick, man?
Exactly. So I had to make that LoneWolf707, where I have, when I get a haircut, take a picture of it. I do have some firearms there also, because you can't share that on Twitch and TikTok. So, I want to get into competitive shooting. I'm not good at it, but sports is awesome. Sport shooting, competitive shooting is just fun, safe, and that's something only Instagram lets me share, because TikTok thinks I'm doing something violent, Twitch thinks I'm doing something violent, and Instagram doesn't give me money like TikTok and Twitch do, so I keep that stuff there. And also, you see my cool haircuts.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, those are my three main stuff. Twitter, I don't use much. LoneWolf7, right? It's just I feel like Twitter. I don't know. It's hard for me to promote myself on Twitter. Usually, I use it just to announce I'm going live on Twitch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't mind Twitter. I think it's more of an it's where all the fighting game like pros talk. So I feel like I feel obligated to just check it out every day just to see if I'm missing something. You know what I mean? But okay. So if there's one thing you'd like to add as like a final note, what would you like to say there, Lone Wolf?
Final note, first of all, thank you for having me on. FGC Unite, if you are on FGC TikTok, FGC Instagram, or FGC Twitch, please follow. I'll follow back. FGC guys, I always follow back. No question whatsoever. If you're D&D, I'll follow you back too. Star Wars, I'm all into geek culture. Follow me. Let's get the community going. And, support one another. And thank you for whoever already. And thank you to you. You brought a lot of guys my way, so thank you for that. And join my Discord. It's on my TikTok and Twitch profiles, and we have a wonderful community. We play D&D, and let's make friends.
I agree. All right, Lone Wolf, thank you for being here, and that's going to do it. Don't forget to follow LoneWolf7 everywhere like he recommended, like TikTok and Twitch, where I have both of those. You can find me on Twitch every Sunday and Tuesday. Come and hang out. And I have an FGC TikTok account. I'm sure you're going to have fun there as well. I also have a Patreon account where you can be featured right here on the channel. If you like the video today, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. My name is Phil, and of course, I'll talk to you guys soon.